What's up, everyone? This is Jordan, and you're watching The Communist Carpenter. So today, we're going to be talking about Texas. Yee-hoo! What's going on in Texas right now? So what's going on in Texas is there's been a blizzard, and they have been experiencing massive power outages, massive blackouts, and I think so far 24 people have died. A lot of them have frozen to death because they just don't have any electricity. They don't have any power. So, yeah, that's what the fuck's going on in Texas right now. So, immediately when this blackout happened, I forget who it was, some dude, but somebody posted a picture of a frozen wind turbine and blamed the wind farms for not being able to handle the weather. So, in other words, blaming renewable energy for the blackouts in Texas. And this was before any journalists could actually go and see what the fuck was happening and report on it. But a lot of Republican congressmen and people in the oil industry, and eventually CNN and Fox News and WSJ all got onto this wind turbine story. But it turns out that the original picture that was posted was a photo from, I believe, Sweden, a Scandinavian country, not the United States. And yeah, they had just made the whole fucking thing up. Turns out that Texas only runs on 20% renewable energy, and the other 80% is non-renewable. So, what the fuck, right? Why were these people so quick to jump onto this wind turbine bandwagon? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because the East Coast of the United States and the West Coast of the United States all have centralized power grids. So if you live in California, Washington, Oregon, New Mexico, whatever the fuck other countries are there on the West Coast, you're all on the same power grid. So if power goes out in California, you can get power from the other states that are a part of your power grid and have more power. If you live in New York and the power goes out in Florida, you can get power all the way from up there down to Florida. Or you're all connected. You're interconnected. From fucking New York to Virginia to Florida to Georgia, all them states are connected in a power grid. Texas, due to lobbying from the natural gas industry, the fossil fuel industry, and the natural gas industry, because it is big down there. Due to lobbying from them, Texas has its own power grid. It is not on the East Coast or the West Coast power grid. It has its own independent Lone Star power grid. That is very appropriate of Texas, because people from fucking Texas love Texas. For some reason, I don't know. They're just the America of all of the United States. But anyways, so this means that if they have a blackout, they cannot draw power from anybody else. Now, this wouldn't be the worst thing if the companies that ran the power down there actually kept up and maintained the systems that they have, but they don't, because they can save a lot of money if they neglect the maintenance and upkeep of their power grid, which that's what they did. And now they're trying to blame renewable energy for it, which is bullshit. So, yeah. It's just the fossil fuel industry and the natural gas industry trying to make a fuck ton of extra money, which is bullshit. So yeah, it's just another example of how capitalism will say fuck you to the health and well-being and safety of its own citizens, just to make a dollar. So this is basically the same as like a fucking school bus company saying, you know, we're not gonna maintain our school buses. Fuck it. We'll just let them, fuck it. It's too expensive to keep up with them. And then they don't maintain their buses. And then one of the buses has a fucking crash and kills a bunch of people, a bunch of children. And yeah, that company is to blame for what is happening in Texas right now. The company is called ERCOT, E-R-C-O-T, ERCOT. I'm pretty sure they're responsible for 90% of the power down in Texas. El Paso, by the way, another city in Texas, they still have power because they're a part of the Western United States power grid. So they're not experiencing any blackouts, which is what would be the case for the rest of Texas if they had a centralized power grid, but they don't because of these big corporations trying to make a lot of fucking money. Now, you can go onto the internet and you can see pictures of people fucking warming their toes on propane ranges or butane ranges, natural gas ranges. You can see photos of icicles coming off of people's ceilings and their fucking ceiling fans and shit. You can see a lot of tweets of people saying that they and their family had to go and sleep in their car because that's the only way they could stay warm. Is they fucking turn their car on and turn the fucking heat up because it's so fucking cold there. And there are people fucking all bundled up in their fucking homes because they don't have anywhere else to go or anything else to do. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't just fucking drive out because there's been a fucking blizzard. Like, where are you even gonna go? Gas stations probably aren't even fucking open. No, there's no water anywhere. People have already bought up all the water. So that's what's going on in Texas. Now, you can see pictures of the suburban areas or just the housing areas all around major cities all blacked out. And the cities themselves, the skyscrapers, the hotels and shit like that, office buildings, have power. They have their own generators and things like that so they can keep their places lit and warm. And you just see all these homes just fucking dark. People are shopping in the dark because even grocery stores don't have fucking power. And that's fucking crazy. And on top of that, guess what hotels have been doing? I think you can already guess where I'm going with this. Hotels have jacked their prices way the fuck up. If it costs you like $150 a night at a hotel, now it costs $1,000 to go stay at a hotel. That's fucking capitalism. Always trying to make a lot of fucking money off of other people's pain and suffering. You think that a hotel would be like, you know what, fuck this, come and stay here for free because we don't want you to die. No, they're saying, okay, if you want to stay here, you're going to have to pay this exorbitant rate. You're going to have to pay even more now if you don't want to die. What the fuck, man? How do people not see how horrible capitalism is? How horrible the system we have in place is? This is fucking ridiculous. And hopefully everyone in Texas is just fucking doing what they can, trying their best to make it, and being, helpful towards one another. But they shouldn't have to be. They shouldn't have to be. We should be able to take care of our citizens better than that. We should have fucking forced Texas to be part of a fucking federal power grid, a national power grid, so that this kind of fucking thing doesn't happen. What has come of this? A bunch of fucking rich people got even richer. And a lot of people have been subjected to unnecessary pain and suffering, and dozens of people have died. That's fucking capitalism. That's all I have to say for this video. Sources are in the link below, or the description box below, so you can know that I'm not just making this shit up, and that this is actually happening, and that these are the facts. And if you want to call bullshit, you can go and fucking read it yourself. That's that. In solidarity, y'all. In solidarity to Texas. Peace.